Welcome to Bahamarico, and we are in the second round, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Timmy, all the way from the Bahamas.
And I am Brian Fonseca. We are back. Welcome to Bahamarico. We are the Bahamarican Boys. Sean Rochester is back. He is vertical because he's dealing with some shit over there in, I guess, the belly of the beast because the Heat are playing the Sixers right now. Sean, your hometown team, for better or worse.
I'm like a Splinter Cell agent in here, right? I'm underground. I'm sneaking around. I'm checking on people's thumbs.
Hold on. We're about to derail the whole show. You know about Splinter Cell?
I'm old, man.
Dude, that is my favorite video game franchise ever. Hard stop, ever. Okay? Like I'm about to geek out, but I don't want to do it. Yeah.
Last minute sub. 2 minutes left to go to the game time. We sent a clarion call for the culture correspondent, and Tony is here.
Tony has joined the stream. So what happened was Marco was going to come on, but he had some trouble. I messaged Tony, and as Tony does, he comes through just wherever he is. I was like, yo, just pop on. All right, we'll see what happens. Sean's got a heart out. He's not going to be here for too long. I don't know how long Tony's going to be here. We're just figuring out. We're just going to make it work. But basically, Miami Heat, as you know, they're in semifinals right now against Philadelphia 76ers. Game is tonight. We have a lot of content. We're the pre-game show. Pre-game shows after this. Pace and Spaces at halftime. And that's going to have a lot of people in it, especially with the Sixers involved. And then you have post-up 5R after this, and then 5 on the floor later tonight. I think that's everything. I didn't miss anything, right, guys?
Yeah, that's all. That's all.
All right. So Timmy, run point. Tony, you came through. You came through. So thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I got a text literally cleaning a toilet, bro. And I was like, you know what I want to not be doing now? This. So this sounds great. And now I'm hiding in my car. So this is how it works.
We already have a couple. Greg is like, yo.
Yo, tell Greg to take at 6 o'clock. Greg, take my spot at 6 o'clock.
Greg, if you want, I'll send you the StreamYard right now. If you want to get on, I will send you the StreamYard right now if you do that. But Timmy, run point while I try to find the link so that Greg.
Well, I'll send to Greg. I know you have a certain special message before I start, though.
What's my certain special message?
Your favorite part of the show.
You're correct. Yeah. How can I forget? One of the reasons that we're still going here. Sean's already been through this before. We're not gonna waste too much of his time, but we do have to get the sponsorship out of the way. Not out of the way, but we're proud to be sponsored by Manscaped, our friends. Support for the Bahamarican Boys is brought to you by Manscaped. Timmy, as I always say, it is springtime. It's still cold as fuck in New York City, by the way. We had thunder that woke everybody up at 6 a.m. I don't know if y'all heard about this. It was crazy. But you got to take care of the muffler, lawnmower 3.0 trimmer, crop formulations, perfect package 3.0, all your essential below the waist grooming needs. And guys, you gotta have the lawnmower.
You gotta take care of your situation, man.
Yeah, especially now it's May. We're almost summertime. If you're gonna go to the beach, if you're gonna go to the pool, like you gotta take care of everything around the area, especially if you want to get lucky. You know what I'm saying? Join the movement for all your below the waist grooming needs. Get 20% off. This is the important part. 20% off, free shipping. Code 5RSN at manscaped.com. That is 20% off plus free shipping. Code 5RSN at manscaped.com. Look good, smell good, feel good with Manscaped. Your balls and your body will thank you. And now we can start, Timmy. Go ahead. Did you send Greg the link, by the way?
Yes, I did.
All right. So as people trickle in here, we'll get some questions and comments later.
But yeah, man. Basically, we have the process versus the culture. It's been this little, not really cold war. It's been a very open war over Twitter. I think it started when Jimmy came to the Heat. You know, they said Jimmy came to Miami to retire. The Sixers would make it to the finals before the Miami Heat. Plot twist, it didn't happen. We made it to the finals before them. So it's been brewing up to this, and I don't think the pundits and the ESPN those really know about this real like friction was going on. So this is why Brian said earlier, like and shout out to the whole Pace and Space team, like those were crazy numbers in the first round, but I expect those to double because like they said this energy between the Sixers and the Heat Oh man, so we have the friendship between Embiid. We have Larry, who is from Philly. Like I like the Bond versus Embiid. Like I just like the storylines. But of course, with these last 2 or 3 playoffs injuries, Embiid broke his face. Larry pulled the hammy, so that kind of has a damper on the series in a way from for people who aren't fans of the teams. And everyone picked the Heat in 5, Heat in 6. And a big question Brian wanted to ask you guys is: are the Heat too favored? Is it too good? Is it too optimistic? That was a question.
Sean shaking his head. Sean, you start.
Is it
I was going to
overconfidence?
say, it's funny being here, and I don't usually listen to a lot of sports talk radio here because it's very Philly centric, like it's the center of the universe. So it's fun at times, like when things are going very bad, to check in. But when we're playing the Sixers, obviously I want to tune in and hear what they have to say. And Friday, once obviously they won on Thursday, Friday they were all geared towards the Heat. We're a week 1 seed. They're going to beat us, blah, blah, blah. They beat us last time on the 21st of March, blah, blah, blah. Everybody was picking here in Philly in 6, Philly in 7, blah, blah, blah. Today I was listening. I've been moving in the U-Haul a little bit. These guys, Heat in 5.
Wow.
Even them?
Like
wow.
even the Philly sports talk guys have switched their stances. Like it is hard out here. I mean, it's a sucker punch. I mean, at least the Eagles had a good draft. They got AJ Brown. So, in a week when their Sixers season is over, we can keep it moving. And they got, the Phillies and some other stuff going on. Maybe it'll be a little warmer, but yeah, it's definitely flipped the script here in Philly about their confidence. It's definitely changed.
And shout out to Greg. Greg let us know that basically his sources told him, his sources that Embiid probably doesn't play the whole second round. But Woj has to stir the pot and, bring on Waiting. Said he's only ruled out for the first 2 games now, and he'll be reevaluated for game 3 and 4. Tony, you're usually the optimist in the network. How do you feel about these Heat in 5, Heat in 4, Heat in 6, and the possibility of Embiid coming back if he does?
Yeah, I mean, it's right in track with what the series is going to look like. I mean, Embiid was one of the only guys on that Sixers team that would force your defense to make adjustments. He's going to force Spo to make adjustments. Without him, there's nobody on the floor that's really going to do anything to Miami to shake them up, to get them out of their game plan, to get them out of their game prep. It's Heat in 5, man. This is not an overreaction from the media. This is real. Like, it's going to be Heat in 5. And it's a shame because I wanted this series and I wanted everything that came with it, the rivalry and the bitterness. And we're still going to get that, but it feels muted.
So I personally think, and you can tell me how you feel. I think Larry should, if he's not like 100%, you might actually need to like bring him along slowly. We have Depot, we have Gabe. Do you think we should let? I mean, and after seeing what Giannis did yesterday, do you guys think you need to make sure Larry's 100%?
I mean, I said yesterday I wouldn't play him until it's either 2-2 or worse. Like if we go 1-1 back to Philly, I'm still not playing him. 2-2, then I'm starting to push him in there. But I think you're looking at the long picture, the big picture here. The long run of this playoff series and beyond. So I don't think you have to push him. I think you take care of business in these first 2. You're up 2-0. You definitely are not playing him unless you lose both in Philly.
Yeah. I mean, look.
There's a difference between window stickers and window liquors. You know the type.
All right, I was gonna get into the series, but like Greg has popped on as he stuck us up right at the start of the show. Like, yo, I'm coming on the stream. Send me the link.
Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Give me the loot.
Timmy was thinking just how I was.
Right. I was just gonna say before because Greg, I want to get to your thoughts on this as well.
Yeah, don't let me hijack nothing. I could sit to the back. I mean, Sean he knows more about the game than I do.
Oh well, Sean's getting off because he doesn't want to get a parking ticket, so he's got about 7 minutes here before he gets out of here. And yeah, so what all I'm gonna say is this: I actually wanted to see Joel Embiid in this series because I wanted to see. I know it was gonna be stressful for a lot of Heat fans and a lot of Sixers fans as well. chaotic on Twitter, and it still might be. You know what I mean? Like the Heat like to sort of play with their food a little bit more than you'd like, and some of these games might get closer than you'd like down the stretch, and they might mess around. But still, I do think the Heat should win this in 5 games. Assuming Joel Embiid doesn't come back till it's too late, if at all. But I am disappointed that Joel Embiid is not going to be good to go for at least these first couple games. I do want to see, like, if assuming the Heat they should be up 2-0 going back to Philly, because that's what you want. And then you're going to have, hopefully, what I would like to see, if Kyle Lowry's healthy, one. But I agree with Sean, hold him out until you absolutely need to, unless he's, perfectly ready to go, then that's fine. But I would like to see Kyle Lowry back in Philadelphia with Jimmy Butler back in Philadelphia against a healthy Joel Embiid. Just for the theater of it, I would love to see how that goes. And the crowd's going to be very hostile toward Jimmy and the Heat. And I actually think that they would feed off of that. I think everybody in here would probably agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a hostile environment. Regardless if it's 2-0 coming back to Philly, it's still going to be a hostile environment. They're going to try to make that push. It's a tough place to play. Even that March game, Ethan and I were both there. It was a hostile environment, and that was a game without Embiid and Harden. And obviously we lost as they hunted Tyler down the stretch. But no, I think we can take care of business, and we have a veteran team going into a hostile place. You're going to have to do it in Boston or Milwaukee too. So, get ready for it.
I can't believe about to play a Harden that has been in Miami since Friday. he has been in Miami since Friday.
So I want to point this out because I was talking to somebody about this earlier. I was on my boy Dexter's show, the NBA Exchange. We were talking about this series, and Greg, I want to throw this at you, and Sean chip in also before you got a bounce here. But the minutes portion of this is interesting to me because in that series against the Raptors that went a little bit longer than the Sixers would have wanted, they had to play, and there were 4 guys, their main 4, Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. Yeah, they averaged 39 minutes a game or more, 3 of them 40 plus. And in the Heat's case, Jimmy Butler averaged 37 minutes, and he sat the last game. Nobody else was more than 31, which is Bam, and that includes one game where he had foul trouble. But, like, the Heat are more well-rested. They haven't worn down their guys. They're deeper. Like, I mean, how do you sort of see this playing out, the minutes portion of this, especially since the schedule is basically game every other day until the end, which we may not even get to because this may not go 7.
The game every other day thing, I think, will make the Kyle situation even more precarious because they're going to be really, really careful. And depending on how the series goes, I think that'll dictate if they look to push that or not. I would even if the things weren't going well, I don't know that they're going to push it with him, truthfully, because I think that not to sound like cocky Heat fan, they think they can beat Philly with or without Kyle. And as presently constructed with no Joel, they're probably right. So I see it essentially being Spoelstra's going to get the opportunity to tinker a little bit more than usual, maybe more than I gave him credit for to start the series. I didn't know that Oladipo would be a fixture, and I think maybe he will be coming into this series, and it's going to be fun. I mean, PJ Tucker on 3 days rest. Like I've been driving this home. Everyone who will listen to me, he shoots 62% from 3 when he's rested. So I'm looking for a big PJ night. Bam. Let's go.
How do you feel about Hero? I saw Ethan asked him, and he gave a nice mature answer. Ethan asked him about his shooting the last series and Tyler like completely sidestepped the question and focus on it. So I like the mindset, I like the answer. But any worries about Tyler getting a shot off this series?
I believe it was Nekias Duncan. It could have been a few others, but Nekias, I believe, specifically in his preview of this series, talked about it being a Tyler Hero series. Could have been Brady too. But Brady is a little bit more closer to the fan side, like I would be, than Nekias is. So Nekias is more credible, even though I love Brady to death. Wrote about how this could be the Tyler Hero series. I think that that's the truth. Like, come on now. Like, I do think that there will be a nasty narrative that follows Tyler if Tyrese Maxey outplays him in this series. Am I wrong?
No, I think so.
I think you're right.
So.
Because like he's younger, and you guys know all the reasons. Kentucky this, Kentucky that. Also, if he gets hunted in any kind of way, That's going to be big. So I'm hoping Tyler has a big series, and I think he will. Like that's one of the guys that I have pegged to have a big series for sure.
I guess we're hoping that the NBA finally gives us awards, so some people to get their money. All these
right,
Sean, right? Yeah. Sean, where did you get Tyler at for 6th man of the year?
I think plus 1950, something like that. It was like right before. It was like mid-October, I think. I'm later than some. Like Ethan was like pushing that preseason, and I didn't jump on until later. But yeah, plus 1900. I need that with moving, man. I need that money, man. NBA, do what you're doing.
Come on, the NBA, let's go.
Right.
You should announce it while he's home, so he accepts it on the home floor.
Right. So it has to be either today or Wednesday, I guess.
I don't remember when they did it last year when Jordan
it's always the second award.
No one remembers when Utah players win awards.
But this year it's been so strange. This is the latest it's ever been announced, like in recent memory. It's always at least the second award.
And you would know that too.
Yeah, it's
by dates.
Yeah, it's always the second award. So it's very strange.
Yeah.
See.
Tony, are you expecting a big Tyler series? Because we didn't get one last time, and they didn't need it either.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the huntable matchups on the floor, man. You got gorgeous Niang. You've got you've got Tyrese Maxey. You've got B-ball Paul Reed, and shout out to the G League MVP. But there's just huntable matchups all over the floor for Tyler to exploit, and that's his game, right? He's gonna break you down for dribble and try to create leverage on the defense. And then that's another factor too, man. Like everybody's going to be attacking their defenders. James Harden isn't like this elite perimeter defender. Everyone's going to be getting attacked every time down the floor. There's going to be bent defenses all over the place. So yeah, it can easily be Tyler's series, not just the Tyler game, but Tyler's series to like take command and take control. And I want to shout out Greg for yelling about those PJ overs because they're in every single one of my prize pick cards, every single one of them.
Easy money.
And it's crazy how without him being the big man that Bama's about to face DeAndre Jordan, like Tony said, Paul Reed,
who's not a big,
right? Exactly. Bassi, who
Georges Yang. I'm not saying gorgeous no more. Georges Yang.
Paul Millsap, who can't get off the floor. He can't.
What is that guy gonna do?
He literally can't jump off the floor. So Bam should have
That's why I'm taking Tobias over on his rebounding props because like they're gonna inevitably just have to play his ass out there and he's gonna have to grab rebounds. So they have a weird scenario going on, and that's why the only thing that scares me about a matchup like this is that if they just go crazy, like remember when the Heat didn't have their guys and Lowry just basically led a team to shoot threes and they went nuts and they went on that run and they didn't have any good players out there and Lowry just kind of led them. You hope that they don't find that kind of energy because like that's the kind of energy that propels a team that's undermanned into just one of these victories, and that'll give them life. Although I have heard adamantly from a source close to the situation that Joel was presumed to be basically done for this series. So we'll see. Woj is always right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying he's wrong, but we'll see if he plays or not.
I mean, it's an orbital fucking fraction. Like
last time it took him 3 weeks. The last time he had this exact same fracture, 3 whole weeks.
And on top of that, he has a concussion and a torn thumb. Like I don't know if we see Joel Embiid, but let's get to some questions before we get out of here.
Right before Sean goes, I want my question because it's his favorite player on the team, But I remember Ethan saying this could be a Duncan ninth man type of series because it depends on if they go big, do they go small. We know their type of defense really favors Duncan. Do we see Depot Caleb play all the minutes over Duncan, or is there a chance where they give him a chance to hit his first 2 or 3 threes and then maybe get some more minutes if they go small and they don't play? They're not going to play any big man. So who gets the ninth spot, Duncan or Deadman?
So I'm going to answer that. It might take me a second to kind of walk through this, but you guys just talked about the Sixers situation without Embiid. With Embiid, they are a very drop-heavy team. So I think to the first question, Tyler, Duncan, those types of guys, drop coverage, they eat against those guys. I don't think they're going to play DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan is a corpse. He is terrible.
Horrible.
It would make no sense to me if I'm Doc Rivers, which means that he may do that.
Doc Rivers, that's funny.
But I would go to the Bassies, the B-Ball Pauls, because it makes you more switchable, or Tobias at the 5 type of things, or Gorgeous Niang at the 5, because it makes you a little more switchable, and it makes it harder for the Heat to hunt those guys.
You look like you play at LA Fitness.
They all do. All their big.
Yeah. So to answer your question about Duncan, I think Duncan still has a role. He did shoot like 53% in the first series. I know it was 9 out of 10 in the first game, and then it was not good after that. But he's going to have the opportunity. If he can go off in 1 out of every 5 games, you still give him minutes because he has that chance to get ignitable. And I think Spo has shown the ability that if he's not, or if anyone is not playing up to par, and Dedmon falls into that category, like Timmy said, you take them out of the rotation and those guys keep it moving. We're a professional team. We don't react to those types of things. And, I think it's going to be adjusting game by game. And I think the first move is really going to probably have to come from Philly. That's why I don't necessarily know if we go PJ at the 5 that much, because that's going to force them to take DeAndre Jordan off the floor when we want him on the floor. I might play Omer just so they put DeAndre Jordan on the floor. I mean, that's how that is. No, I'm just messing with you. But look, I appreciate you guys. I know I got to jump. I got to finish moving, and I am illegally parked with my caution lights on right now. So
don't get a ticket.
Appreciate you guys. I'll be back for halftime Pace and Spaces as long as I get back.
Tune in, guys. Tune in. That's going to be a very lit live.
Yeah.
I will.
Thanks, guys. Go Heat.
Yes, I will most likely be there as well. All right, let's get to some questions. We got 10 minutes left. Bring on your best questions so we can get to them. Gene Rosario, you are first. Who do you guys think needs to be consistent out of Tres Leches? Most think Tyler. I think Strus. I'm going to toss this to you, Tony. What do you think?
If Tyler's scoring the ball, man, that's all we need out of him. I mean, I don't know if that's consistency, if that's what Guy wants, but Tyler has a much deeper chance to be impactful in this series. Way more impactful.
Yeah, let's try to keep answers tight. Also, good job on that one so that we can get to a bunch of them. I don't know if anybody else wants to
That's his way of saying answer quicker.
Yeah, no, just so that we can get we can get through everything.
He's
all
smooth.
right.
I picked it up.
So I think Sean answered this basically saying we don't expect to see Tucker at the 5 because that being said, we want them to play big, So that was what Sean said right before he left.
So how much 5 will PJ Tucker play this series? Timmy's saying much. Not much. Greg is saying not much. Tony?
Not much.
I'll say not much either, but I think we do see it at some point just because foul trouble might just happen and shit like that. Maybe not by design though. All right, Gene Rosario again. Thank you. What are the best case scenarios for the Heat in game 1? I mean, aside from winning, because I would probably say that. Timmy, what do you think?
The Kentucky boys need to play. That's how I feel.
The Heat Kentucky boys.
The Heat Kentucky boys. Yeah. Bam, like I've said this all last series. They are the future, but we are the now. Show us why Bam you have a max and why Heroes will get a max. Like I said, between no Embiid and the 6-7 no bench, these are perfect scenarios for Tyler and Bam to really make. Because I mean, the first round was all about the young guards, but no one spoke about the Heat's young players. And I think I sure Hero and Bam know that. So yeah, show out.
Yeah, more questions, please. I'm gonna throw into that point. Bam and Tyler also need to pick it up, but Bam in particular for me, just because Joel Embiid's not there, and I just don't want to see 15 and 8.
Can I get a 5-second caveat on that?
Yes.
Just remember, throughout a playoff run, different things happen. Different players step up at different times. So if it's not Tyler this series, it might be the next series. I do agree with you guys. Bam and Tyler need to show something very soon, but just keep perspective that sometimes it happens the next series or the next matchup.
Yeah. And we're expecting a next series because of how this is unfolding. All right. Michael, thank you for the question. Do y'all think the Sixers are going to use zone defense and Spurs to throw off the Heat? Greg is laughing. See, I think they might. I don't think it's gonna work.
No,
but I think they might. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you something. Before the playoffs started, Jimmy Butler was plus 100 on FanDuel. I use FanDuel obviously because I worked there as a contractor. But he was plus 100 to hit a 3 in the game, and now it's minus 230 because they're all right, Jimmy's hitting threes now. You know what I mean? If Jimmy's hitting threes, zone defense is not going to work. All right. So yeah, I think they'll try to use it, but I think the Heat. I thought they would do more zone with Joel Embiid there. You know, I don't know if anybody else has thoughts on this zone defense against the Heat.
I think you see the Heat pull out a full 2-2-1 into a 3-2 because they're going to try and stretch the floor vertically. I think they're going to have shooters screening for shooters as soon as they come over half court. So I think you'll see the Heat do some zone.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, look, it's been working so far. All right, more questions, please. Kryptonite, who was like, hold on. I'll read the question because Kryptonite was like rapping a little bit earlier and was just like rhyming in the chat. I don't know if that's because Greg was coming on and they got excited, but it is what it is. Omer played decent against Joel when they matched up. Do you think Omer will play if Joel makes it back before the series is over?
No, moving on. Come on, just move on. Let's go.
All right, next one. There was a couple others there, David. All right, here we go. The official ambassador of the mulatto race. Please come with more questions, people. The official ambassador of the mulatto race says, "Wow, Heat Bucks, who wins?" If we're jumping ahead here, based on this is good. Like we can actually stay here for a minute or two.
Yeah,
because the Bucks came out and punched the Celtics in the mouth in Boston. I'm the guy who says weird shit happens in game ones. Don't overreact to game ones.
Me too.
However, Chris Middleton not being there, the Bucks aren't scared of them. Giannis freaking
Boston had suspect chins.
You know what I mean? So Heat Bucks, and assuming that Chris Middleton's back at that point, because we don't really know, but
according to Greg and Rose is never wrong. You know, Rosensham said that he is doubtful for. I was being sarcastic, but he is doubtful for the third round as well.
Yeah, but all right. But regardless, Heat Bucks, how do we see this shaping out as of right now, Greg?
I'm standing by we took PJ Tucker from them, so we're gonna win. And also, they have a player that looks like Ted Cruz, so they're not going to win. And that's the end of that. Moving on. Next.
Tony, follow that up, please.
No. Next. Greg is right. Next. I'm not following
that. All right, we got another one from Michael here. Thanks for the answer. Also, do you think the Heat will aggressively double Harden if he gets going offensively? I don't think it's gonna be. I think it'll be a soft double. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I don't think it's gonna be anything.
My only fear, if it's even a fair, is Maxey's speed. We know how the Heat defense goes against quick guards. So I honestly talk right now. I was having this press conference and he's talking about Harden. I no longer fear the bad. I do not fear the bad. I respect Maxey's speed. I think if anything, you see any type of trap, it will be Maxey.
Correct.
That's how I feel.
I'm with you.
Okay. Let's see. Gene Rosario again. And then we got one from Mitchell, David, I want to get to after this. Do you guys think that Duncan comes alive this series?
If he gets his first three.
Yeah. He'll get the opportunity early. If he doesn't capitalize, he's on the bench. Done.
I kind of think so too. But I kind of think he has a more than one game this series. I actually think he has a couple. I should have said that when we had Sean up here. Mitchell Whittington, do we have that question, David? All the way at the bottom right there. Thank you, sir. In the Hawks series, the refs made so many bad calls against PJ. Do you think that will continue?
Yes.
I mean, given that they're playing against James Harden, and I expect to see PJ on James Harden a good.
I can't wait. And then I can't wait.
Watch late, and I don't mean to hijack nothing, but Jimmy on Maxey, so that when they do the Jimmy Harden pick and roll stuff, it don't matter. They switch whatever. Mm-hmm. That's something to watch.
It's funny because and to that point, Tony, I want to toss to you here. Seeing PJ stay in front of Trae Young the way he did made me think, he's going to be on Maxey on switches, and they're going to be
at 37, bro. At 37 years old, PJ was just out there being a dog
in his jersey, in the seams.
And to put a bow on this last thing, Mac for a better tomorrow. This is going to be the last person we go to. Thank you everybody for watching. David, post that on the screen, please. Mac for a better tomorrow. He says, makes me nervous because title of the episode, I put that everyone's picking, the Heat, all the ESPN people and things of that nature. So Mac for Better Tomorrow says makes me nervous. Heat do better as underdogs. Is there any part of anybody up here who's like, man, like, are the Heat going to really mess around and make this a 7-game series or something like that? Or full confidence that they'll put this away in 5?
They could drop one of the first 2 at home because like the drama of the playoffs means at some point we're going to feel the dirty pants. So like, let it be when they, split at home when they're not supposed to. But look at this quote from Doc Rivers pregame. The key for us is just hang in there. Direct quote.
Like the cat on the poster?
So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm like, this is going to be over quickly.
In 2022, Doc Rivers is not out coaching Eric Spoelstra. Do you think Bam will finally be aggressive this series? I mean, 20 and 13 plus rebounds. Look, man, I don't think he'll need to for them to win. That's important. I do think that I'll put it to you this way. We were talking about in chats about Bam over-unders. I think a lot of us are looking at some overs for Bam, that 18.5, 19.5 range. I'm expecting a 20 and 10 at some point, ideally tonight, but ultimately we'll see. There we go. The aggressive Bam trap card. The Yu-Gi-Oh card. I can't believe Tony left before this. Activate this card when you need Bam Adebayo to be aggressive. The other team will be in absolute shambles if this card is activated. Will we get aggressive Bam this series? Timmy's on mute. Beautiful.
Sorry. yes. I'm sorry. It was too much culture. But yeah, no Embiid. Bam was going to eat their lunch. And I know you have one more question, but I just want to answer this again because I don't know if Anthony missed it. I think they soft trap Moxie and they make Tobias Harris win. Tobias Harris has to be the MVP for Sixers to win more than 1 game.
I think you nailed it. Yep. Should we get to one more, David? Do we have one more? All right, Michael. It seems to me that many analysts like yourselves are putting a lot of emphasis on Miami shooters coming alive this series. Do you think rim pressure will be a factor? Greg?
Absolutely. That's where Jimmy and Bam come into play. I think Tyler also is going to have the opportunity.
Maybe Victor. I was going to say maybe
and Depot. No doubt Depot is going to have a big play there, but let's not go away from what works. Jimmy is going to do that. And to everyone else's point, like I think when you see Bam have a quiet series, that means a big series is on its way. Like how often have they been quiet and stayed quiet? Not often. So like, that's where I feel like Tyler and Bam will come through big. And paint points. Yeah. Oladipo. That's an X factor that we actually went almost this whole show. And we didn't really talk about, y'all.
All right. We're going to take one more. Ronald Font or Fonte. Not sure. Fonte sounds cooler. Gabe Vincent on Maxey ? He bothered Trey. If Vincent starts, who does he guard? I can see Harris hunting him for height advantage. I think that Gabe Vincent can hang with Tobias Harris, though.
Yeah.
Because Tobias Harris is not he's not a bully. He doesn't play like a bully. Like Jimmy Butler is a different type of dude, but Tobias Harris is completely content taking jumpers, and you want him taking contested jumpers. I don't think we see Vincent on him a bunch. Tony?
Nah, Tobias Harris is already contesting himself with that weak ass shot diet he takes all game. So I'm not really worried about Tobias, honestly. And another thing about Bam being aggressive, bro, Paul Reed is going to be involved in the action a lot because they bring him to the level of the screen when he plays.
Yeah.
Bam with Paul Reed on him and space. I think this is a big Bam series.
I think so too. I think it needs to be. And look, to people who's saying that like Bam needs to step up and whatever, let's remember, and I know this because I was watching back some of this recently, Bam was the best player in the Eastern Conference Finals when they got that far and was very good throughout that playoffs. Took more mid-range jumpers and made them than I remember in those playoffs. So I'm expecting him to, he had COVID before this and, wasn't in the Bahamas and probably got off to a late laggy start and the team had it going anyway. I think that the team knows more than everybody here. Like, yeah, we got to get him going if we're going to get somewhere. And I think that, you're going to see first play of the game. He's probably going to get a screen and roll right to the rim. And then from there, maybe he's on his way to a 2010. Anything else?
Yeah.
Anything else here? Oh, and before we go, pregame show before floor. That is happening in 10 minutes. So stay here on the channel. Go get a snack. Do what you got to do. Greg is going to be there. Pace and Spaces at halftime. Tony will be there with Sean. I believe Marco's going to be there. I'm probably going to pop in because I will obviously be watching this game.
Everybody, this is a big one. Everybody come.
Everybody come in, pace and spaces, and then we have post up 5R and 5 on the floor after the game. So
content.
Yes, this is how we do it for the playoffs. Timmy, take us home.
This has been Bahamarico, and next time you see us, the series might be over. Peace.